Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor S.P. Singh from Faculty of Management Studies, Gurukul Kangadi University, Haridwar. Today we are going to study Module 35 on grievance management. Friends, after reading this module, you should be able to understand the nature of grievance, list of features of grievance, know the sources of grievance, techniques of grievance identification, comprehend the grievance procedure, enumerate the benefits of grievance procedure, elucidate the features of grievance procedure, understand the model grievance procedure, know the settlement of grievance in Indian industry and the recommendations of National Commission on Labour. The grievance denotes any dissatisfaction expressed or unvoiced, valid or invalid, arising from anything connected with the company an employee considers, believes and feels is unfair, just and inequitable. A grievance may be expressed or implied. Expressed grievances are comparatively easy to recognize and are manifested in gossiping, envy, criticism, argumentation, enhanced labor turnover, recklessness in the use of tools and materials, untidy housekeeping, poor workmanship, etc. When a grievance of an employee comes to the knowledge of the management, it can be ignored as irrational or false. Grievances of all sorts have to be addressed by the management similarly as rational grievances. The grievances are characterized by the following features. Grievances emerge out of the perceived injustice or unfair treatment the aggrieved employee feels. It is the feeling, discontent or dissatisfaction about any aspect of an organization. The grievance may be real or imaginary, genuine or fake, legitimate or irrational. A grievance may be expressed or unexpressed, expressed normally in a written form. It must arise out of the job of the employee. Different sources of grievances can be grouped under the 5 categories as management policies and practices, working conditions, supervision, collective bargaining agreements, and work adjustment difficulties, basic wages and salary scale, provision for general wage rise and overtime allowance, employee benefits and incentive schemes, promotion and transfer criteria, leave of absence and holidays, fines, punishment and penalties, attitude towards labor union. Occupational health and safety measures, physical conditions of the workplace, changes in production schedules and standards, shortage or required raw material, tools and machines and equipment, proper allocation of work, duties and responsibilities of workers. Style of supervision, a misunderstanding between the supervisor and the workers, rigidity in the interruption of rules and regulations, discouraging the complaints and representations of the workers, ambiguous job instructions. vague and unclear language and clauses in the agreements, violation and unfulfillment of the terms of agreement, an emphasis on a legalistic approach to the employee's problems without considering the social and economic dimensions that may have a bearing on these problems. Basic attitude towards job and company, excessive self-esteem and pride, introverted personality, grumbling and fault-finding minds. An organization must have the ability to diagnose, detect, recognize and resolve the grievances at an earlier stage. The major techniques to identify grievances include exit interview, gripe box system, opinion survey, open door policy and observations. When employees quit an organization for any reason, an exit interview may be conducted to obtain information about the job related matters. At this time, those quitting their jobs speak freely and frankly about their experience and observations on the job. This can provide the employer with an invaluable insight into the simmering problems and anxieties concerning the employees. Employees can drop their written complaints in the boxes kept by the organization to provide an outlet to the employees to secretly express their complaints and apprehensions without the fear of being victimized. Opinion survey is the direct and personal means of gathering information from the employees about their existing grievances. The workers are encouraged to call on the relevant manager at any time to freely share their opinions, feelings and complaints with them. Open door policy is workable only in very small organizations. In big organizations, when management by exception is practiced, the top management doesn't have the time to attend to innumerable routine grievances daily. That is the work of lower level managers. The manager or the immediate supervisor constantly tracks the behavior of the employees working with him. Every organization requires a permanent procedure for handling grievances. This procedure usually consists of a number of steps arranged in a hierarchical order. Number of these steps varies with the size of the organization. In a small organization, the supervisor and the manager may be only 2 steps, but a big organization may have as many as 10 steps. The first and the last steps are almost always the same for all organizations. Though a labor union is not essential to the establishment and operation of a grievance procedure, yet it is an important factor to it. There are mainly 5 stages in a grievance procedure. Written submission. The aggrieved employee makes a written oral submission to his immediate supervisor about his grievance. Union representative may or may not accompany the aggrieved employee to the supervisor. After ascertaining the facts of the complaint, the supervisor takes the necessary course to settle the issue and inform the employee of his decision. When the employee is satisfied, the matter ends there. Otherwise, the aggrieved employee proceeds with the further course of action. Now, the aggrieved employee goes to higher authorities like the sectional, departmental head, or any other competent authority for the settlement of his grievance. At this point, the middle level union leaders accompany the employee. The grievance is analyzed in detail and relevant explanations are sought. The concerned supervisor arrives at a decision and communicates it to the aggrieved employee. If the employee is still not satisfied, he would request his union to process the grievance and adopt it as a union grievance. Grievance committee. At this stage, the employee grievance takes the shape of the union grievance and is referred to the grievance committee consisting of members representing both the management and the labor union. The discussion on the issue takes place in detail at the committee level and reaches a decision for resolving the grievance. If the grievance still defies solution, the stage is set for referring the issue to the arbitrator for third party mediation. Usually, the management and the union jointly choose the arbitrator. The relevant supervisors, in consent with the higher level union leaders, write the issue to be arbitrated. Arbitration. Grievance arbitration is the final step of the grievance procedure. The proceedings of the arbitration are quasi-judicial in nature. The arbitrator's decision is final, compulsory and binding on both the management and the union. There are different benefits of a grievance procedure. A grievance procedure brings grievances into the open so that the management can know about them and try corrective action. It helps in preventing grievances from becoming serious. The management finds an opportunity to catch and solve a grievance before it becomes a dispute. It provides employees a formalized means of emotional release for their dissatisfactions. It assists in establishing and maintaining a work culture of the organization. As problems are interpreted in the grievance procedure, the group learns how it is expected to respond to the established policies. Arbitrary and capricious management actions get checked upon. When a manager knows that his actions are subject to challenge and review in a grievance system, he becomes more careful in taking his decision. A grievance procedure should incorporate certain features: conformity with existing legislation, acceptability, simplicity, and promptness. The National Commission on Labour has given a statutory backing for the formulation of an effective grievance procedure. If recommended that the grievance procedure be time bound and limited number of steps are provided. Say, approach to the supervisor, then to the departmental head, and thereafter a reference to the grievance committee comprising of management and representatives of unions. It should be made applicable to only those units that employ more than 100 workers. Friends, in this module, you have studied the nature, features, the sources, the techniques, the procedure, the benefits, the features, and the model of grievance management. Thanks for visiting EPG Pathshala.